Welcome back, guys, to Regeneration TV. My name is Josh. We're here with Robert. Stay tuned to find out what's in his head. Well, Robert, welcome to our very own Regeneration TV.
Good to be here.
Good to be here. Exciting. Just to let you know, this is uncut, unedited, so everything you mess up, everybody's going to know.
No problem.
So tell the world a little bit about yourself. What do you do? What are your hobbies? Skydiving, stuff. Just a little bit about you.
Well, what I do most of the week is I work on trees. I do tree and landscape. So I'm working with my hands, working out in the sun, working in the cold, whatever it is, trimming trees, cutting them down, installing landscapes. That's what I do mostly during the week for work. I'm one of 9 kids, so I'm the oldest. I have 8 siblings, and so hanging out with them a lot, hanging out with family, trying to go to the gym. It's tough. When you get to my age, you have to go a little more often, but I'm working on it.
You said your age. What age is that?
It's up there in age.
It's up there. So we're looking at 35, 37.
Not quite.
Oh, not quite? Okay.
28 or
28,
so. Almost,
okay.
Actually. Few weeks away.
Oh, you're up there, all right.
Yeah. So that's what I do. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, if you don't mind, we have a couple questions for you. More than a couple questions. And it might get a little personal, but try to answer them all. If you don't want to, just pass it. And if you get stuck, answer it regardless.
I'll do my best.
Just kidding. All right, so the first question is, when and how did you become a Christian?
Well, I grew up in the church, but I wouldn't necessarily say that I was a Christian that entire time. I think I always thought I had a relationship with God. I prayed to Him. I would say that I don't remember a certain point in time. I just feel like it was gradual. Like it continued to increase and get better. I did give my life to God when I was 14, and I remember that day very clearly when I decided to get baptized. And so that may have been my start to authentically following Him. I wasn't perfect, of course, but that time. So it's been a long time. 12 or 14 years back now. So yeah, it's been a lot of growing and learning for me.
And
so,
any people that you know help influence you? Like you were born into a Christian household, but has helped you grow even more and take responsibility as a child of God.
Yeah, growing up, my dad was the main influence. He guided myself and my younger brothers and sisters a lot. So I learned a lot from him. He guided me in my faith, and I could see Christ in somebody, and that was him. But I also was guided by our previous pastor who passed away. He was a big influence on me and really believed in me and encouraged me to develop and grow and gave me space to do that. And also our pastor now, who's really been a big influence on me and my growth and my spiritual life. So I'd say those are the big 3, and actually one more that would help me in worship. He was a big help to me. His name was Pastor Mike, and I used to help sing at his church, and he was a great influence on me. He worked on me since 14 or so, just helping me for about 10 years really grow in leading worship and playing piano. And so I owe it all to those guys who poured into me, and various others along the way.
Okay. Next question is, how is God working in your life now?
Well, I'd say I feel like he's always been working in my life, but I guess the seasons that is where I'm at now is maybe a bit of change, a bit of growth, transitioning, not only because of age, just because of where I am in life. So I'm kind of leaving my adolescence, which of course has been a long time since then, but just feel like I'm growing up and trying to get more serious about what it is I'm doing. And work is a big part, but the biggest part of my life, which I want to be, is my what God has entrusted to me in ministry, which is helping with worship at the church and leading the youth ministry, which things I really love to do more than working several hours a day. So the things He's doing in my life is He's kind of helping me prioritize that and try to see pour myself into the areas that I need to do. So focusing on doing the things He's called me to do and not trying to spread myself out too far. So that's a big thing He's doing to me, and of course other things, but that's the biggest thing I would say.
How would you describe your spiritual journey and your relationship with God today?
The spiritual journey today is definitely stronger. I can just compare it to what it's been in years past. I remember when I first got baptized that I was, of course, fired up, and then I went through this period where I was, really going down, and it's been a bit of a climb. I'd love to say it was consistently up, but it hasn't been. It's been
I think we all just go through that.
It's been a mountain climb, but God has been with me, and He's never let me go. And I think where I am today is that, of course, there are still some hills and valleys, but He's with me, and I'm growing in Him, and I'm learning to trust Him when I don't know what the future is. So what He's doing in me spiritually, I believe He's building my faith, learning to trust Him, and learning to rely on Him completely. My business is going really well, God's been good to my life, and but I'm still trusting in Him. I don't trust in my money. I don't trust in the circumstances. I'm trusting in Him and what He's doing. So that's kind of what He's doing in me is learning to rely on Him.
All right, can you briefly tell me what you're struggling with as a Christian now, and what are going well as well?
I guess we can get a little personal. I'm kidding. Let's start with the well things. Yeah, like I said, the things that are going well is, of course, the business I started a while back. I feel like that's really flourishing. I see in our in our youth ministry, which you're a big part of, and various others, that people are getting more involved, and we're starting to try to do our very best at this. And our church, we're moving forward. So those are some things that are going well. What was the second part? Struggles.
Struggles.
Where am I struggling?
You can just give us a couple.
Yeah, no, I feel like there's probably 75 of them now. I'm kidding, but
Two.
I think the struggles are, like I said in the beginning, God's working with me, and where I'm supposed to be putting all my time, where I'm prioritizing, focusing, because we're helping out at church and then running a business. I definitely have issues with time, where one requires more time, and trying to balance that. So I think in me is being willing to lay portions of work down so that I could tend more or pour more time into ministry and reading my Bible and studying, because it can be a little tough. At least now, because I've been going about 5 years now with the business, so it's a little tough. So that area, learning to trust Him, and of course there's other manly struggles that we know about, and other.
Yeah, I don't know.
He may not know, but we know. But God is, He's definitely guiding me, and I'm trying to walk with Him daily, I'm not. Thank God I'm not broke at this time, because that's a struggle. I've been there, but thank God I'm not. But that seems like there's always something. So in my faith, I'm learning to grow in my faith, and to really trust Him more. And also, just a side thing, that in my study of the Bible, I've been trying to develop more there to really understand the Word, because we've had some controversy at our church and things about certain biblical passages. So I've been really trying to understand how to study the Bible, how to interpret it better, so that I can know what it is that I believe in, and be confident in that. So
Of course.
Yeah, those are lately my struggles.
All right. And what way has God used your gifts, talents, and abilities to bring glory to Himself?
Well, I don't consider myself to be very talented.
But you sing, you play the piano.
Yeah, I think if we can, those two things,
He's humble. He's humble.
singing and playing the piano, those two things are things I never thought I would do. So when I look at those things, I do see that God is given them to me. They've just developed because it's something I never really had the. Maybe I had the desire, but I never thought I would do it. To be leading worship or to be playing the piano, things I never really wanted. I would much rather have been working out, have a beach body, kind of like the gentleman here sitting next to me, very Calvin Klein model. That would have been my goal there, but God had a different plan. And
we're going to edit that out.
God had a different plan, and he gave me that desire to want to play and sing, and I don't want to do that to glorify myself because I believe it's Him and He deserves it all, and He's given me because I have so many brothers and sisters, and because I grew up in a neighborhood where a lot of my friends went to jail and really got affected by drugs, that He's given me a desire to help other youth find that Jesus is the only way to live, and sometimes I may not do that as best as I should, but that is my passion, which I'm striving to do and to be a bigger part of my life, because those things are important to me, and they're bigger than making money and things that I do during the week and other days of the week. So yeah, that's how He's using me, and He's He's given me a desire for our youth ministry to help our youth find their gifts and talents and be able to use them, and to so that we can shine His light to other youth. That's the idea.
All right, thank you. So next question is, how does that tie into your heart with youth leadership? Or your heart for youth leadership, how does that tie into it?
Again, that's something I never thought I would do. I've always been a very shy and timid guy. I still am. Never really saw myself leading youth ministry, which even now it's kind of hard to really believe. I have a good team that helps me. I definitely don't do it all myself.
Go ahead, shout them out.
Yeah, good, like Liz, Marty, and Josh, and Jesse, Kimberly, who's now helping us, and various others along the way that have helped us who aren't anymore.
Julia,
Samuel now. So
they would have wringed
the
their
team is expanding. The team. I'm sorry, guys, I forgot your name. A little nervous, but just a lot of people who've helped along the way. And so, what was it? How do you?
So, how does that tie into to your heart?
Yeah. So again, I think that's a gift or not a gift, but just a passion, desire that God placed in me, to stand in the gap to where some kids don't know what they should do or don't really have any direction, to get in the way and show them that there is another way, and that's God. He really is real, and He does have plans for us. So that's my heart to really try to interrupt kids' lives who are struggling and maybe don't have any direction. That the way God has directed me and preserved my life, I hope they can experience that, and the hope and the joy I have in Jesus, that they can also have that. And I have a team that's willing to pursue that vision with me, and it's a lot of fun, a lot of work too, but it's a lot of fun.
You said like 5 times, team. Oh
yeah,
gosh.
Sorry, man.
A lot of team. He must be nervous. Next up is, how well do you know the Bible?
Well,
how well do you know your Bible?
I thought I knew it pretty well, but the more I read and the more I interact with others, I find that there's a lot of things I quite don't understand. I've read the Bible through several times, maybe more than 5 or 6 times, from cover to cover, and now I find myself really trying to study. Over the years, I've been growing and studying the different words and their meanings, Hebrew and Greek. So I feel like I have a whole lot to learn still. I am a lot to learn, but I'm enjoying it.
Well, one of the things that I realize is with the Bible, and it's the message that God gives you. Of course, you pray before you read the Bible, and and you can read the message 5 times and get a different meaning the passage in the Bible 5 times and get 5 different messages from it. And it's whatever God gives you or wants to tell you, and that's why the Bible is never ending resource of just wisdom.
It's always relevant.
Yeah.
Wherever you need it.
Next question would be: do you feel comfortable teaching it to others?
I feel comfortable teaching a lot of parts of it. I think I have a good idea of the Bible as a whole and what God's ultimate plan was to reveal the gospel to us. And the Bible leads up to that in certain areas, and then how we're supposed to live now in light of that, what Jesus has done for us. So I feel confident in teaching those things. When we get into some doctrinal things, I may struggle some there in different beliefs, but I believe the basics, and maybe a little more than the basics, I am comfortable teaching. But I do, there's some areas of doctrine that I haven't really gotten into, which weren't as important to me early on, that are becoming more important to me, and I'm growing in there. So, yeah, it just depends on what the topic is, I guess.
Of course. How have you gained the amount of Bible knowledge that you presently have today?
Yeah, well, I never went to seminary. I didn't go to Bible school. I did go to a Christian high school, so we would have chapel all the time. But I would say most of it came from personal study, which I started at 12. My dad he makes all of my siblings and we all had to read 3 chapters a day. I think we started at 1 chapter, then ultimately to 3 since age 12, and I'm 28, almost 28 now, so that's a long time. Of course, there's been days I've missed that, so I haven't been perfect. Don't tell him that, though. But my own personal study, listening to preachers' messages. I listen to a lot of preachers on the radio as well. John MacArthur, Francis Chan, a lot of other Hillsong, a lot of preachers, and study commentaries. So a lot of that has come from that personal study, and of course spending time with God. And He's revealed it to me, different areas, working on sermons and preaching, just learning as I go. So that's kind of where everything's come from, and I'm still learning, and I'm enjoying it.
Okay. We're actually at our last question, and that would be: what advice do you have for the youth? What advice do you have for the youth of not only like today but the future?
Yeah, well, if any youth are watching this, I guess the things I would tell them are some things I'd tell anybody. If you're not a Christian, that's the biggest question you have to answer, is whether God exists or whether He doesn't. And we've just in our studies, we've been going over some of the proofs of why He does, and I think that's the biggest question you need to answer, more than what career, more than who am I going to marry, more than what does tomorrow hold. You've got to answer is, did Jesus really come to the earth and die for me? Because if He really did, then you're missing out on what life's all about. And for those who are believers, I would encourage you to take it serious. I'd encourage you to be the light, because you've got a precious thing. You've got the mystery's been revealed to you, that Jesus is real, and that's something that I have to remind myself daily to know that I'm not. I have a message that's can impact the world and impact the people around me, and I try to live that out. And I'm better and better every day. It's a struggle to in life, but it's something we walk by faith in, and we trust God to help us with. So yeah, I'd say take it all the way. Go at it. Go with your faith and walk in it, because He loves you. And those are the 2 groups I'd like to talk to. And if you're young, yeah, God's got plans for you. Hope you know that, just like He does for my buddy here and me.
Well, amen. Well, we're actually finishing up, and any other than the questions you answered, you did great. Thank you for coming on. But any information you want to give us, any more details or events coming up?
Yeah, well, we have a small youth team in Gilroy that we meet on Saturdays, and we meet every other Wednesday, and we're just growing in our faith together. We're trying to answer the big questions that are surrounding our generation, and we're trying to go at it with an open mind and knowing that God has done something in our hearts and trying to see our world and our futures in light of that, and finding ways to reach our community. So if you want to join in, if you want to come by, feel free. If you want to just watch the videos that we'll post occasionally, that's great. But yeah, we do things together. We're going camping. We're having worship nights at our church. So we'd love for you to join us anytime we do those. Just come and spend time with us. We'd love to get to meet you. And yeah, and thanks for having me.
But yeah, did you already tell them about worship night? It's coming up on
Yeah,
the
we're-
16th, next week.
We're having
this
worship
week,
night
this
on
week.
Friday
The video
night.
comes out Wednesday, so it'll be on Friday the 16th. Worship night here at Gilroy. It's gonna be the best thing ever. Hillsong, if you see this, you're invited to.
You're invited to Hillsong. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. My name's Josue, Robert, and we're signing out.
Peace.
Deuces. Well, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And of course, go ahead and click on our video that we have. It's actually Marisol Martinez with her Buddhism intro class to our apologetics.